Okay, had another solid practice today. I think we had overall a solid week. I feel like we've improved on some little things, as far as offense, defense, and special teams. Going to give our guys off Saturday just to relax their mind and body. We'll come back Sunday, treat it like a Tuesday, and try to get this in a regular routine. Tomorrow, guys go to class and watch a little film.
So you won't practice tomorrow?
No, we will not practice.
How's Sammy been? Has he come back and
He's
been good?
getting better, and we expect him to play.
2 games in, have you guys done any of that like that wholesale evaluation that you kind of did in the bye weeks last year?
Yeah, we tried to use that same approach. We do know a lot more about our guys, obviously, than we did last year. But, as a coach, you just, the things you learn over the first 2 games, you try to play to your strengths, and try to build upon those things. And so, that's kind of been our approach. Like I said, earlier is, part of the off week was to get better at what we do. And part of the off week is to get a head start on a very good Kansas State team.
Defensively with Kansas State, what's going to be the biggest challenge for you?
Tell you what I'm impressed with is they make you earn everything. They're in the right spot, they're in the right gap. They get hurt on something, they know their answer. And I've been very impressed, watching them.
What about Mueller, the defensive end they have? What have you seen out of him?
With his motor is what stands out. He plays extremely hard. You don't see the guy take plays off, and just plays with great effort. And it's impressive to watch.
Going through high school, I know Bill Snyder really kind of made the Wildcat something back in the late '90s. Did you get inspired by that at all to bring that into your offense later down the road? Or?
Of course, being a high school coach, way back when, had a lot of respect for him, the way that he's built the program, and then left, and then came back and rebuilt it. I've said before, I think he's one of the better coaches to ever walk the planet. And you can turn on the game film and you can see why. They execute offense and defense and special teams, and they get the most out of their players, and that's really what stands out to me.
You ever met with them, visited with them?
I've talked to him on the phone, a couple times, and talked to him in person once or twice. He's always been great.
You try to pick his mind for ideas and things of that sort? When it comes to offense?
Yeah, but probably more of just overall watching, from afar, and just, stuff like that.
Does Kansas State remind you of anybody you've ever coached against?
Oh, that's a tough question. I'm sure it does if I had time to think about it, but they're just very good at what they do. They don't beat themselves, they don't make mistakes, especially defensively. They make you earn everything.
Because you've never been asked this before, what makes the zone read so effective? What that you can keep doing it over and over?
Well, first of all, I really think the zone read, starts up front. You have to have an offensive line that can effectively, come off on their backers and the proper angles. And then, we've been fortunate enough to have some effective zone read quarterbacks that maybe weren't that fast, but they were very efficient, with their technique and everything. But, Nick's ability to make people miss, he really separates himself in that area compared to some.
Obviously a different style of quarterback runs, but that's a focus defensively for you guys in Kansas State after getting hurt a little bit. Just talk about that and the focal point for you guys and how to
Their
stop.
quarterback is definitely a threat running. He's very good. He's like another running back, and they do a lot of unique things off play action that you normally don't see, and they're very good at it. And they got a receiver or two that has very big playability too. So it'll present some challenges.
How do you prepare for a dual threat quarterback as a scout team? Do you put a running back in that position? Do you put Sean West?
Yeah, I think you mix and match. It just depends on exactly who you're playing for that week. But I know last year we used some different guys as far as that goes. They've also had some wildcat stuff, in the past too, and used a traditional running back. So, we've definitely done both.
Gus or Trey Matthews and Austin Goldsmith, they doing scout team stuff?
Yes, yeah, scout.
How much benefit is it to have guys like that obviously are SEC level
Yeah,
players playing on scout?
yeah, I think there's some value in that, there's no doubt, just with their ability. You know, and of course, when you're going scout groups and all that, you're really upfront. If you give a good look up front, you know, I think that's very critical, and Austin definitely has that ability.
You said the other night that with some of the discussion about Nick and his passing, that it's more about pass efficiency for you, not to overreact to what's a very limited sample thus far, but Nick's pass efficiency numbers are down. Is there anything about it that is troubling to you, as like first downs, for example, or is it just way too early to make any?
You know, I really think just for what's happened, you know, from a coach's standpoint, it's way too early. You know, like I said, there was two instances where he got pressured in his face on, you know, one, I put him in a bind with a play call. I mean, he had to throw it away where a guy can catch it or nobody can catch it. So I feel very good about where he's at, and you know, I think everybody will see that as the season goes on.
I don't know what you know about your own guy, obviously, Nick Marshall, but you've seen Jake Lars a little bit on film. Do you think this is a game where you're gonna have the two best zone read quarterbacks in the nation on the same field on Saturday?
Their quarterback's pretty good. He's good at the zone read. He's good at you know, running just the basic ISO, basic power. I mean, he's really nifty with his running. But I would say you'll probably see two of the better running quarterbacks. You know.
Because as much respect as you have for Bill Snyder and his program, you were recruiting against him for Nick. Just what without getting into all the details exactly, but what was it like when you're recruiting against somebody you like and respect as a coach? But
yeah,
going into that recruiting, it's rare to have that kind of battle in season, out of conference, where quarterback is
Yeah.
one of the teams.
Yeah, well, you know, I think if you look at both of our offenses, there's some similarities, and it helps to have a dual threat quarterback. And so that was probably the reason they were after him, and that's probably the reason he was attracted to them. And you know, with our offense and all that, and then the fact that, you know, he's just lives down the road, you know, I think that had something to do with it too.
You, what do you get out of doing things like the CBS Saturday?
You know, I think it's good exposure. There's no doubt. And looking forward to it.
Anything else? All right, good. Thank you.